Tehran continues to defy the West, with Iranian President Ahmadinejad saying Iran has every right to enrich uranium and that it is for peaceful uses. The US and other countries believe Iran is secretly developing nuclear weapons technology. The country's repeated missile tests are also a concern. The next US president will have to deal with Iran's nuclear program, the experts agree. They say an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities would have widespread consequences because a surgical strike is impossible. Iran's nuclear facilities are believed to be deep underground and dispersed. Experts also believe UN sanctions have not and will not deter Iran. Former US Ambassador to the United Nations, John Bolton, says Russian and Chinese backing for more sanctions is doubtful. Russia helped build an Iranian nuclear power plant and has provided Iran with nuclear fuel. China needs Iran's oil and natural gas. If Israel decides to attack Iran's nuclear facilities, as it did with Iraq, Bolton favors helping the Israelis with military equipment.
It's risky. It may not succeed fully. It may not succeed at all. There are undoubtedly consequences that Israel would face. But I think from the Israeli point of view, and I think from the American point of view, however deeply unattractive the use of military force is, it is far more unattractive to contemplate an Iran with deliverable nuclear weapons.
But recently, Ehud Olmert, Israel's outgoing prime minister, said the assumption that Israel will attack Iran may not be realistic. James Phillips at the Heritage Foundation says if the new U.S. president decides on a military option, he will have to answer 3 questions ahead of time.
Do we have adequate intelligence to target the key nodes of the Iranian nuclear program? Secondly, do we have the means to destroy those targets? And thirdly, how long will a military strike be likely to delay Iran's efforts to attain nuclear weapons?
David Albright is a physicist at the Institute for Science and International Security. He says the military option is not practical because Iran has several thousand nuclear centrifuges which can be hidden over a wide area.
We don't see how you can take out the Iranian program, short of a full-scale aerial bombardment that would go on for quite a while and risk a pretty widespread war in that region.
Henry Sokolsky at the Non-Proliferation Policy Education Center prefers a Cold War against Tehran, even though it might take time. The new president, he says, should open talks with Iran, but widen their scope.
I would focus on something where you have a comparative advantage that the Iranians claim they care about that won't legitimate their regime. And that is, they claim they want security guarantees.
Steps to guarantee Iran's security, he says, should be on the agenda. Ravi, Khanna, VOA News.